Hey, Ashley, Bowman Maid, how are you guys? You may notice a little something different because I had a little bit of an issue today and I'm not sure what happened, but one of these things is not like the other. I stuck my sock in the bag I was taken to the Weaver's cabin today, and there nothing happened that should have caused this. And I got there and pulled it out of the bag, and it was kind of like that. And I was like, oh. So, fortunately, I had my glider with me so I could get some spinning done. So, I thought I'd pull out this is the ChiaoGoo with the pretty red cable. And so far, so good. I'm liking it a lot better than the other 9-inch circular. Bama Maid is tired. And Ashley said, "Oh no, what happened?" Yeah, that is a Leica birch, or no, what are they called? They're called driftwood. I think they're birch. I think the wood is birch. And they are coated or impregnated with resin. And they're really strong, and I have no idea what happened. I have never broken one before, and I break wooden needles all the time. Those Britneys, anything smaller than a 3 doesn't stand a chance in my hands. So I will get another one when I go. It was like what, $8 or something. I'll get another one when I was. It was too late in the day. The yarn shop closes at 4, and it was past 4 already. So I'll have to sometime next week try to get down there when she's open. Her hours are still kind of limited, because of viruses and idiots and stuff. I might call her tomorrow and see if she still has her pickup box outside, and if I can just pay her for it and have her leave it. Leave it out for me, and I could pick it up out of the box after work. Yeah, they're size 1. But I mean, they seem really strong. They have a little flex. I hadn't had any trouble with them at all. And it was fine when I put it in the bag. My knitting sat on my table overnight. It looks like something put an insane amount of pressure on it. But I mean, I carried the bag by the handles in my hand. There wasn't anything. The only other thing in the bag was my glider and my phone. My glider and the wool I'm spinning on it and my phone. And it didn't get whacked against anything or pressed against my body or anything. And I pulled my knitting out, and it looked like the picture on Discord. It was sort of bent and hanging. Bama Maid said 4:30 a.m. is a terrible time to wake up. Great time to go to sleep, but terrible for wakey. Yeah. Yeah, I'm often not even in bed by then. Oh, this is a also size 1, but this is a ChiaoGoo 9-inch circular. And this is on the pink, very pink knits. Did I get that right? The pink lady? Um, she reviewed, I think, four or five maybe, but I think four different brands of 9-inch circulars. And this was the one that she recommended, the one she liked the best. It's got a really flexy, pretty red cable. The little needle bits are really short, but for whatever reason, it's fitting in my hands better than the other ones that I have. Yeah, very pink knits. She did a very nice. If anybody is interested in a review of 9-inch circulars, she did a very nice review of four. I think it was four different brands, and her review surprised her. She did not expect to like these the best, and they were the least expensive of the ones that she reviewed. So that was even better. And my yarn shop doesn't carry them because they're made they're made in China. Although she said if people like them so much, she's tempted, but hasn't given in. But so I just ordered them on Amazon so I could have them fast. Oh, Baba Maid said she has a good one on the flexible double points too. I should watch that. I don't know if those appeal to me or not. So watching a good review would be good. Veggie said these are her fave and that it's a good review. Well, I think that these are my fave too as far as 9-inch circulars go. And like I think I've said before, years and years ago, God, probably 30 years ago, I wished that there was a circular that would work for socks. It was before I had discovered Magic Loop or Two Circular. It might be before anybody had discovered Magic Loop or Two Circulars. I just wanted a double point that was short enough to do a sock, and there wasn't one. And now there are tons of them, and then the first ones I tried, I just really kind of didn't like. Oh, so we're having storms, by the way. So if I disappear suddenly, that'll probably be why. I think this is too early for it to be hurricane related because we sometimes when they come up in the Gulf, we get a lot of rain a few days later. But I think someone told me that we don't expect that for a day or two yet. And we've been having storms on and off all afternoon and pretty much on all evening. I got absolutely soaked walking home from the Weaver's cabin. Because it hadn't rained yet when I went over there and it wasn't cloudy. And then within a very short time of arriving, it got dark. Sky started to rumble. And I was like, oh, looky there. But the temperature dropped at that point because it was so hot. Sometimes the cabin is miserable. And so I open a window on each end. Well, the window on each end. And then one in the back and leave the front door open. And that helps because then at least the air moves. And have a couple of fans going. And I got 6 or 7 tourists despite the weather, so that was surprising. Yeah, so I have to figure out how to hold my hands. But so far, so good. Mama Maid says, so this morning I had to get up early to drive husbands to work. Sky was clear, no wind, nice morning aside from the heat. Wow, can you guys hear the rain? And she says, on the drive home, all along the horizon, where I can actually see the edge of the hurricane cover was just all kinds of very pink lightning. Very pink lightning. Are there jellyfish dropping out of the sky yet? Because you know, I want to see video of that. Yeah, I think I'm going to be feeling this in my thumb tomorrow. I probably won't take this with me to work. I'm also curious to see how different my gauge is, if it's going to be noticeable. You can hear the rain. It's not as loud as a train, but it's pretty loud. And there's some thunder in the distance. And here comes another wave of rain. It's like it comes in waves. You know, it's like rains like crazy and it sort of slowly passes over and then it quiets down for a couple of minutes and then another wave comes past. Yeah, my basement floor is gonna be wet. Bama Maid said, excuse me, we didn't even get a mild breeze from this hurricane this time. It was too far east. Yeah, it looks like it just clipped at the very northeast of Texas. Saved most of its glory for Louisiana. But I was surprised that it revved itself up to a category 4 before it hit land. Bama Maid said, my mother-in-law is in Houston and I asked if they would be okay through Laura. She said she was expecting mild wind and rain. So I have 2 beverages right now. Golden milk. You can see chunks of cinnamon floating in there that I didn't stir in very well. And a big old quart mason jar of water. Botman Maid said the Gulf is nice and warm right now. I'm actually surprised Marco was just just a sea fart. Now, would the warmth of the water, would that be why there were so many water spouts recently? Because I've seen a couple of really, really cool videos. One of which was taken from an oil platform, drilling platform, or whatever they call them. Of all these water spouts dancing. Lake Michigan apparently has had more water spouts this summer than in previously recorded weather history. And Lake Michigan has been deadly this summer. It's like every day, well, because, I get, I get M Live on my Facebook. So I know more about what's going on in Michigan than what's going on in Pennsylvania most days. But it's like almost every day somebody's drowned and a boat's tipped over and a bunch of people and yeah, the sounds like the lake is just treacherous this summer. Bama Maid said possibly hurricanes and all the waterworks like the warm waters. It's why hurricanes in the Pacific hit Mexico and way south. The Pacific is too cold once they get too close to Cali. Oh, that makes sense. That makes, yeah, I guess I never really thought that through. So it seems like I'm moving along quickly enough. If the gusset ends right there, and I need 8 inches from heel to the where the toe decreases start. So let's look and see. And we're at about 5.5. A little more than, well, yeah, about 5.5. Bama Maid said, oh, and I got fluff mail today. I got Polworth silk. Ooh, I like that. I couldn't remember what I ordered, and I thought it was Rambouillet until it got here. I have a little Polworth silk left to dye yet, and it's lovely stuff. And said, so I've got 8 ounces of Targhee blend and this 4 ounces of Polworth to dye and spin. Nice. Hello, Melissa. How are you? Yeah, this needle is much better than whatever that square needle is that I have. I like the square. I wonder if I can find, if I Google quickly. Okay, I think they're the Collage, Kollage, and I really like them in like a size 6 or size 7. You know, for hats and stuff. I have a couple of those, and I like them a lot. The little 9-inch one I don't like so much. And since I liked the bigger sizes, I just assumed that it was the 9-inch format I didn't like. But this is working out okay. Oh, Melissa says, good thanks. Faux fur yarn is not fun to tink back. LOL. Oh, yeah. It's like trying to rip out like fuzzy mohair and that kind of thing. It gets all tangled around itself. Bomba Maid said, Tinkerbell hates us all. Uh-huh. It's the ones that start with a K. Collage or something. Kollage. And like I said, I really like their larger ones. And I've used the circulars, and then I had gotten some double points, but they're little itty bitty short things, and they didn't really fit in my hands for socks, so I didn't end up using them much. Melissa said it's hard to see where the stitches are, and if I've dropped one or not. Oh, yeah, that too. Bomba Maid said I've heard they have super flexible cables on their circs, like floppy style flexible. I don't know. Nope, not carbons. I have some lovely little size 1 double points in carbons, and I like them very much. No, I was talking about a metal square 4-sided needle, and the larger, this like size 6s and size 7s in circulars, I find I don't get as much hand fatigue. They just fit. You know, I don't understand the physics of it, but I found them to be very comfortable to knit with. But they're little bitty, like the size 1, and especially in the 9-inch circular, I didn't care for. But, you know, somebody else might love them. And I do like my bigger circulars. I just didn't like the little ones. Bomba Maid said Knitter's Pride makes a couple square profile needles as well. The cubics and a wooden one, I think. Melissa said, I haven't knit with squares yet, but I have heard that feedback from others and hand fatigue. But, you know, it's like everybody's particular, you know. Most people. Some people are like, oh, you know, whatever, needles. But I think people who knit a lot get particular about what needles work best in their hands. Oh, sorry. Camera. We'll fix that. Deactivate and reactivate. Are we still in? Yeah, we're still in close-up mode, right? Is this where we were last night? As far as how close? Melissa says Knitpicks has square 2. Bomba Maid said, I'm really liking ChiaoGoo and how sharp they are. I split yarn far less than with my other needles, and I want to try highest sharps. But I might, you might need a thimble. Most of the time, a lot of people always push off with their finger, and sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. And I was trying to see if these needles were going to bother me that way, and I haven't been. Or no, it was the broken one because they're pretty pointy. But I found that, what the heck do I smell? I think something's coming in from outside. Obama Maid said we're good. Yeah, okay. And Melissa said, I love ChiaoGoo too. I've heard a lot of good stuff about them, but I try as much as possible to support my local yarn shop. So I try what she has. But if I go in and gush about this needle, she might give it. She tries really hard to have local products first, and then made within the state of Pennsylvania second, and made in the USA third, and tries not to get stuff, from farther away. And but she also is realistic in that she understands that most places have their needles, even if it's a U.S. company, have their needles manufactured in either China or India, so they're still coming from far away. Yeah, Obama maid has no idea she had curfew last night. Well, I finally got my camera to zoom, and I think we're zoomed in from where we used to always be. Obama maid said I try not to. Even the Chow Gu will poke you if you push enough. So I'm trying to force myself not to panic about drop stitches. Excuse me, I guess I'm tired. Drop stitches when I don't push. Now I am recently noticing that I am splitting stitches. Like just when I go through, I'm like missing. And then, my stitches get all wonky. Although maybe not so much with this needle. But, I mean, it's hard to say. Posture check. Thank you so much. Thank you, Emo Daddy Squad. I needed to be reminded to sit up and put my shoulders back, which also causes me to pull my hands forward or, back towards me so I'm more in frame, so that's a good thing too. Obama maid said, so Husby's predicted that Laura would cause his Saturday to be canceled. She was headed for Alabama, and that's where the transmission plant is located. Sure enough, Saturday was canceled. Yeah, Richard got called in today. So there was 4 hours of overtime. So that was good. They're a little short-staffed right this second. Any experienced line cooks anywhere near my area looking for a job? Yeah, so if we're supposed to get a lot of rain over this weekend, especially if it's, hurricane leftovers, sometimes are pretty intense here with flooding and everything. It could be a little exciting in my town this weekend. Which might mean that it's really busy at work or might mean that it's absolutely dead at work. Veggie said, friend's a pro cook and has a job. I'll let you know. Obama maid said, what you mentioned with the needles being made overseas anyway. Toyota actually started building all their parts in the U.S. and preferably on site. That's cool. Toyota's been kind of, like going in that direction for a couple of decades now, haven't they? To do, build more and more of the cars for the U.S. market right here on U.S. soil. Bama Maid said when the tsunami hit Japan a while back, it stopped production here because some of the parts were still made in Japan and shipped here to be put in the trucks. Now almost all of it is made here or Mexico or Canada. Toyota USA, Toyota, words are hard. Toyota USA is a sister to the original Japanese company now. They were their own entity, are, not we're, not we're. Yes. Thank you, Auto Carrot. You know, every time I get a new phone, I scour the internet looking for the instructions to just turn that shit off. We will not be having any autocorrect and we will not be having any predictive text because that is just dangerous. So if I'm ever texting you, just be prepared for typos. Plain old honest typos. Emo Daddy Squad says, yes, I am live from Hurricane last night. Ooh, were you right in the path? I saw some pictures today. It looked like it got pretty intense. You were in the middle of the eye. Wow. I don't think I've ever been in a full-fledged hurricane, and certainly not one that big. When we lived in Virginia, we sat out some tropical storms and tropical depressions, but if we sat out any hurricanes, they weren't real big ones. Bama Maid said, yay for surviving hurricanes. Emo Daddy Squad says 4 people did not make it. Yeah, that sucks. There is just too much crap going on this year. And tag team hurricanes in the Gulf is just weird enough to qualify for 2020, I think. Yeah, Emo Daddy, I'm glad that you got through it okay. Bama Maid saw a meme that said the theme for 2020 is just the Bermuda Triangle slowly bouncing around the globe like a demented Roomba. I saw that too, and I agree. Yeah, that's not wrong. Emo Daddy Squad said, I look at weather. They're predicting 5 more bad ones? Ugh. 5 more storms. I was going to say, can't it just be fall already? But fall kind of is hurricane season, isn't it? Late summer and fall. And, we can't even just say, okay, everybody just move inland because, then you got the tornadoes to worry about. Although we should be coming up on the end of tornado season, one would think. But my mate said 'tis the season. Yeah, it's always the season for something. Yeah, Bob and May says, just not the one that Hallmark capitalized on. Well, then we just get Snowmageddons. Veggie says, too many people moving here already. Shut up. Well, where I am is supposed to be the most geologically stable place in North America. So we don't tend to get earthquakes, and the mountains here don't tend to move. And we don't tend to get tornadoes, but they can happen. We don't get hurricanes, but we've been known to get awful, awful flooding afterwards, after Ivan. Hey, you guys. Bomba mate said, and I will nope right down south if it snows here. Just know. Veggie says California gonna mess it all up. Well, and with everything on fire, what does all of the smoke particulate in the atmosphere do? Is that gonna cause cooling, and now we're gonna get, well, like I said, Snowmageddons this winter? Veggie said it burns all their sage. Well, one would think that would help. Obama mate said it's going to rain nasty ash somewhere. Well, the weather generally moves from west to east. Sorry for whoever that lands on, but I kind of hope it falls before it gets here. Obama mate said, just like the big dust clouds that rain mud. I never thought about that. And she says, probably on my car right after I wash it. Veggie said it's not. Oh, right, not enough sage. Not enough sage for 2020. And don't anybody say, oh yeah, veggies, and then jellyfish. Yes, I want video of raining jellyfish. I've heard of it raining fish, so I want to see video of it raining jellyfish. And don't anybody say that next year couldn't be any worse, because it'll say, here, hold my beer. So let's just all beg 2021 to be mellow and chill, get a couple of massages. Bomba Maid said, I did not get flying jellyfish this go round, just pink lightning. Yeah, I've never seen pink lightning. Hey, birding mom, how are you? Did you hear that Bomba Maid saw pink lightning this morning? You can't post a pic here, but you can post a picture on my Discord. I don't think that there is any way to post a picture in Twitch chat. And there, Bomba Maid just posted the link to Discord in case you're not already there. Bomba Maid said, oh, here comes more rain. Can you hear it? It's raining like crazy. I'm going to have to keep an eye on the windowsill If it starts raining, then I'll have to get up and close the window. Baba Mate said, I've actually heard of it raining goo, which they theorized was jellyfish that just got torn apart. Oh, ew. Oh, ew. That's just an ew. I think the only thing that would be more ew than that would be if it like rained slugs. I might have to go to therapy if I ever got caught in a storm that was raining slugs or jellyfish goo. Obama Mate said, yeah, unless you have a link to a Flickr or Instagram or something. Yeah. Birdie Mom said, hey there, I'm good. Just heard. Wow. The 9-inch circle is because this happened. I took my knitting out of my bag at the weaver's cabin, and this was bent and hanging, and I have no idea what happened. But now I have 2 pieces. So now I have to wait until I can get to the yarn shop to replace it. So I thought I would just plow into the ChiaoGoo. And I'm actually very surprised that I'm liking it. And I'm going to take Very Pink Knit's recommendation and do the toe on double points. She said that she thought that the 9-inch circulars are very effective for the tubes, just plain tubes, but that she would use double points or some other method that works better for heels and toes. So that's what I'm going to do. Palma Maid said, not an ooh, a goo. Yeah, but a goo is ooh. Ew. Veggie said, I peer pressured Birding Mom. Well, my first thought was I was just going to, put the socks on double points, but then I thought, you know what? I've got the 9-inch circular. Let's just do it. And so far, so good. Although I might feel my thumb in the morning because it's doing things differently than I'm used to. But so far, my hands aren't cramping or anything. And with the other ones that I've used, my hands would have been cramping by now. Because we've been doing this for like 45 minutes. Bauman Maid said, I've been to the coast during a jelly bloom. The smell is gross. I couldn't imagine the goo rain. Ooh. Ew. Birding Mom wants to know what you pressured her into, Veggie. Hi, kitty. She's walking back and forth under my leg, dragging her tail. It tickles like crazy. She's been asleep in the big blue pottery fruit bowl all day. She finally came over to say hello. Oops, I can back away a little bit. Yeah, Veggie was joking about the 9-inch circs. But it might be a little early, but I think I'm going to say that the ChiaoGoo 9-inch circs are a win for me. Veggie said we need voice chat. I think so too. I think, as long as we don't have more than like 25 people in here, I would vote for voice chat. But some of those crazy chats where people have 1,000 people or more, I think that could be like total chaos. But yeah, I think voice chat could be a fun thing. Bama Mate said you can do it over Discord during the stream. Oh, I've seen some of the like World of Warcraft players do that. Like they're chatting with their guild on Discord and you can hear it on stream. Now, would I have to do something in particular, or is that just gonna pick it up off of my sound card? Oh, right, that's how it picks up my music. Okay, so never mind. Well, maybe we'll try that sometime. Veggie said, or even off stream too. Well, there's that. Can you guys use that? I mean, would I have to be there? Or could you guys, if I set that up, can you guys just go ahead and use it? Birdie Mom said, LOL, on my Zoom meetup, we were all talking over one another and stealing the screen. Emo Daddy Squad said, I just put a pic on the Discord. I'll go take a look. Oh, wow. You're bombing me. Don't threaten her with a good time. Holy cow, look at that. So we better hunker down, I guess. If you're in you guys, if you're in hurricane zones, make sure you've got bottled water and food, that non-perishable food, and all the emergency supplies, and bug out bags for yourself and your whole family in case you need to evacuate. Birding Mod, if you're looking for the picture that Emo Daddy Squad posted, it's in the introductions. Bamba Maid said, I think Crazy Sock Lady on YouTube has a 9-inch Cirque sock tutorial doing the heel flap on it, but I'm not sure. Well, I had done heel flaps on my previous 9-inch circulars. It was a little bit of a struggle, but I managed to do it. But, now that I've been given permission to not do it on the 9-inch circular, we'll see. We'll see which direction I go. Bubba Mate said, and you already have a voice channel set up. We might need to play with it and with sound and stuff. Veggie says, yep, I've done 98-ish% of a sock on 9-inch circs. Birdie Mom said, I am feeling so guilty for my gorgeous sunny 70. Yeah, it's raining like crazy here tonight. Although my impression is that the rain we're getting today is coming from the west. So this is not hurricane related, and it's too soon. But we might very well get hurricane related rain over the next couple of days. Bamba Mate said otherwise might wind up with an echo on my stream if it's open while I'm live. That's a good point. So well, not right this minute, but let's sometime soon. You guys pester me, and we'll play with that. If you guys don't mind your voices being on my stream. Birding Mom said, I finished my socks, and now I have to figure out what I'm going to knit. Well, more socks, right? Do you still have any sweaters and whatever happened with that black sweater? Did that get finished? Emo Daddy Squad said they sent lots of EMS and EMT to help hurricane people. Yeah. Yeah. The pictures that I saw today looked like just a huge mess. I mean the kind of damage to buildings that you see, from tornadoes. Veggie said have to switch to Magic Loop or DPNs for the tow and Kitchener. and says bother. Yeah. See, at least if I'm talking, I don't have typos. I just can't say words because words are hard. And this weather it got hot again, and now it's all wet, and now my joints are like, yeah, good luck with that. So I'm having some extra turmeric tonight in my golden milk. Hopefully that will help. Bomba Maid said this was Katrina 2.0 for the lower lying areas. Yikes. Well, what was Katrina was a 5 and this was a 4. I don't know how much, practical difference there I mean, I'm sure like wind speeds and stuff. But once your wind speeds are high enough to like crumble buildings, then, what difference does it make? What difference does it make if you can crumble a building in 15 minutes as opposed to half an hour? Veggie said, I don't know how on stream would work, but offline voice chat could be like an extra cool knit night. Well, and we can talk about that. And you know what? And you guys, if you guys can use it without me being there, have at. And then if I can be there when you're doing it, I'll come too. Birding Mom says, shh, don't wake the work in progress pile. My guilty feelings are sleeping. Okay, well then more socks. Let's do more socks. Let's start pair 12. Do you have festive yarn lined up waiting? Mama Maid said words are hard. Mama Maid said we do Crafting Thursday on Dorks Discord. It's a bunch of us yelling at our kids. Oh, and there's a Veggie's got another words are hard. You guys, maybe I need one of those. I have enough subscribers that I have space for 2 emotes. So I need to talk to my emote person. I will try messaging them tomorrow and see if they are indeed interested. Because it's been a week since this person was recommended, and I just have not caught them. I wanted to try to catch them, when I could talk to them live, as opposed to, messaging while they were asleep or whatever. But I don't think that's going to happen because our schedules are kind of opposite each other. Bama Maid said Tony's is clearer on the dark theme. Bama Maid said we can do it on Friday and Saturday when we need our snoring cat fix. Well, those are supposed to be my days off, not necessarily. Well, but I could come and hang out and not, I wouldn't be like on show. I could just come and hang out. Now, Friday nights, I do spend like half the night on the phone. So we'll see about Friday nights. Saturday nights, maybe. Although I'm often doing laundry and baking bread and stuff like that on Saturday nights. But let's toss some stuff around and do some experimenting and see what happens. But like I said, and you guys are welcome to hang out in there anytime you want. Mama Maid said, I'm just messing with you. Veggie says, this is a bad idea. Why? Because you guys are a bunch of troublemakers? You know, in the best sort of way. Bomb and Maid said, in Discord on my phone makes things easy. Just mute it and take the convo with me. Oh, there's that. I very frequently forget that Discord is on my phone. Although I did a little phone discording today while I was at the cabin. That's when I posted that picture. So in addition to the broken needle, there is a picture on Discord that gives you kind of a better, more accurate color sense of this yarn. Mama Maid said the convos have been places. Let me look on. Oh, wow. Look at all of the ambulances. Wow. I think I put it in knitting. And it's up. You have to scroll up above the absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous shawls to see a little more accurate color representation of this yarn. And you can see the bent and hanging needle. It's so sad. But yeah, how about those shawls? Handmade Andrea. I especially like the purple one. They're very, very, very pretty. Excuse me. Veggie said, yeah, there was daytime posts today. Yikes, more thunder. What, kitty? What? Did you want to come up? Come on. Come on, you can come. Come on. Yes, the microphone is in your way. Meow, come here. Come on. No toenails. Okay, we have company. Camera hog is here. And all there is a black screen now. What? Look at the camera. No, that's the microphone. Look at the camera. Here. Come here, back up a little. Look at the step on the keyboard. No, that's probably not a good idea. Come here, you're going to open all the windows. There, come on, let's see. They did a pretty little face. There's it, whoops. It's kind of a close-up. Oh, the camera's yours now, right? She has done rubbed her chin on the camera, so it's hers. Don't drink my water. No, that's mine. So anyway, for any of you who have not met her before, this is the cat, the one who snores. And that's her tail. Get your tail out of the way. Okay. I guess I'm allowed to knit it. Well, maybe not. Oh, here she can knock everything over because she's a cat. Okay. We'll move this. There's room to lay down. Kitty. Yeah, I know. I invited you up. Well, why don't you lay down and I can knit over the top of you? No walking on the keyboard. Yes, you're very sweet. Okay, hopefully she won't disconnect us. Bamba Maid said, oldest today complained that Cat walked over the keyboard while she was doing schoolwork. Whoops. Okay, where'd you guys go? I think she's typing in Discord. Yeah. Well, this one, she'll like lay right here and she's like laying half on the keyboard and then like 47 windows will open. And I'm like, I was trying to do something. You could at least lay so people can see your pretty face. Veggie says cats exist as gravity testers. Here, why don't you come here? Get on my shoulder. Come here, give me a hug. You can be over here. No toenails. Ow, ow. Oh, thank you. Okay. What? Would you like to say that to the microphone? Meow. Well, of course not. Meow. It's your toenail stuck. Need to trim those. Okay, apparently she's in charge. Okay, go over there. There you go. Good kitty. She'll go lay on my mask and then I'll wonder tomorrow why my face itches. Yeah, high five her mage. Yes, exactly, Veggie. See, she's got her back to us now, so apparently we're in timeout or something. And yeah, definitely, I'm going to put my mask on tomorrow and wonder why my face itches. Either that or I'll just take one out of the pile of... I made a bunch of masks today because they're getting picked over at work, especially the kids' sizes. Everybody needs kids' masks because, school's starting. Obama's maid's pet me, right? Meow. Yes. That's what she was doing. She's like, here, let me be the center of attention. Birdie Mom says, or you'll breathe in a fur ball. Yes, exactly. Fiber Mate says, I'm just lurking tonight. That's just fine. And did you see, just as I was getting to the point where I was really liking the magic loop, I broke the needle. Or the needle broke. I'm not exactly sure how it happened. Because I was not using it. Pull it out of the bag and it was broken. So I decided to switch to the ChiaoGoo 9-inch. And they are also working out just fine. So who knew that there's so much difference between one brand and another? But I think I would still say, different people are going to like different brands. But for me, this is far superior to the ones that I had before. I should probably measure these. Ugh, I got cat hair all over my face. No big surprise, right? She's laying on the phone. She's going to be really surprised next time it vibrates. And Kitty, I gave you some food too, if you happen to go upstairs. See what Papa's doing. She's like, nope, I'm going to sit here for now with my back to you. Make sure you know you're in trouble. So, Obama Mate, are you going to do any dyeing on stream this week? Any, fiber dyeing, not, personal, not dyeing personally? You going to dye any fiber on stream this weekend? Obama Mate said, I have purposefully called phones just to scare the sitting cat. Ha ha ha. That's funny. Veggie Zombie said, being dead on stream is, yeah, terms of service violation. Don't do it. Obama Mate said, not this week, not until we get a new propane tank. Oh, yeah, I remember you mentioning that. I don't have one to loan you. Or I would. But you'd have to come and get it. Because I got to work this weekend, so I wouldn't be able to get it down there. Veggie said, but dyeing wool is fine. Thank you for the follow. I think it says Gelfia. Hopefully, by this time next week, I'll be able to read the chat more easily. Assuming that, I can do the, come back in a couple of hours and pick up the new glasses thing. Sometimes they have to send my prescriptions out. It's a pain in the butt. And then I, have to wait like a week. Okay, I'm gonna measure. See where we're at. So I am liking this colorway. Okay, we're at 6. So we've done half an inch since the last time I measured it. Obama Mate said, I kind of want to do a purple to green gradient on one of these braids with bright, obnoxious colors because that's what I do. Yes, the retina damaging colors, my favorites. I keep thinking since I've got all the primary fluorescents, I want to do a fluorescent highlighters. And that's, I don't usually dye stuff just with the primaries, I usually blend all the colors. Because this is, what is it? Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. But like I said, the colors are quite a bit closer to accurate on Discord. So I am going to try to remember this weekend to take that skein of yarn and that braid of roving to work and see if I can get better pictures. Obama Mate said, and I need to do the speckled over dye on those totals. Oh, yeah. I forgot you were going to do that. I was liking them the way they are. Mama Mate said, and I'm thinking of throwing some fleece in the crock pot and see if a more even heat will have any different effect on the Lanicet. The Dharma website does mention the possibility of needing something besides just citric acid to get the dye to properly set. Now, I've been okay with citric acid. The only things I have trouble, I don't know that it's a problem with setting, but my turquoise and my magenta are difficult to exhaust. And those are just colors that I think in any dye, turquoise and magenta are difficult to exhaust, regardless of the brand. Mama Mate said, I do like them how they are, but ... speckles. Yes, I am enamored of speckled yarn. And so far, have not felt compelled to do any myself. I just will keep buying everybody else's lovely speckles. Part of that, though, is that, I mostly just have those 4 colors. There's no point in me having all the pretty colors when, I just blend colors. So if I was going to do fun speckles, I just would have to buy a bunch of pre-mixed colors, and that sounds expensive for something I would just be playing around with. Mama Mate said, I just need to play with it, and I get my best kettle results in the crock pot. As nice as it was to dye on my stovetop, I really didn't like the uneven heat. Well, and that's the thing, with the steam table pans, is that they're meant to be the ones that they put sternos under, those don't get even heat because you put two or three sternos under it and you have hot spots. But if you use them in an actual steam tray where there's hot water underneath, then the heat is more even, but that's not really hot enough to set the dye. And so even in theory, one would think sticking the whole thing in the oven would be more even heat. But even that's not necessarily true. Some ovens don't heat evenly. Birdie Mom said, I have a ball canning cooker with its own heat source. Oh, is that the electric boiling water bath? I never even thought about using that for dyeing. I'm just always worried about it being too heavy for me to lift to dump the water out. I don't usually do very big vat dyes. And I do my boiling water bath canning in a steam canner instead of a boiling water bath canner, just because of the amount of water in the big canners. There was a time in my life when I could lift those full of water, and those times were a long time ago. So the electric canner, though, has a little drain spigot, doesn't it? Birding Mom said, it's like stovetop and you can jar dye in it. Oh, there's that. A friend of mine does a lot of her dyeing in a big electric roaster, and we put water in there and set jars in it before. And that was pretty cool. Because I do sometimes dye little bits and bobs to, for making Rolegs and drum carding. And I was just going to say, what the heck was that? That's probably more thunder. Mama Maid said, I have a crock pot I use only for dyeing I got from the thrift shop. Works for me because it's big enough for a 4-ounce braid, but small enough I have no issues lifting it. It's so cool hearing all the different things people have figured out. We used the ginormous blue granite ware canning water bath canners on top of the stove when I was in college. And so for a long time, that's what I did. I had a big old blue granite ware water bath canner, and that's, I dyed massive quantities. And then eventually I figured out I could do smaller amounts. Birding Mom says some have spigots, but you don't have to put a lot of water in it to dye. I was thinking like for immersion dyeing that you'd get nice even heat with that. Like assuming someone wanted to, dye like 6 or 8 skeins of sock yarn, all the same color. Mama Maid said the waste pot I had under the drain on that table is a black granite ware canning pot. I have a great big one in my basement that holds 9 quart jars. And someone who lived with us for a little while years ago left it behind. And I was like, cool. I always wanted one that held 9 jars. And then I thought, you know what? There's no way I'm going to ever be able to carry that to the sink to dump it out. And, obviously I can bail it out with a smaller pan, but then I splash water all over the floor. This is starting to look like a sock, you guys. I always feel like I have to stretch that cuff out to make it look more like a sock. Yay! I'm not sure how festive it really looks. I mean, the colors are a little more muted than it would probably be on Superwash, but I like it. I like the shades of purple. At least, the shades of purple in real life. They're a little less blue, I think, in real life than they are on the camera. Mama Maid said, I've never put canning jars in it. Mama Maid said, even with immersion dyeing, you don't use much after the yarn. Well, it depends on if you're going for a tonal or if you're trying to get, even dyeing. Because for even dyeing, the more liquid you have for the yarn to move around in, the better. But, yeah, and I have bailed out canning kettles. But I make a mess in my kitchen because apparently I'm a sloppy bailer. Mama Maid said, I use my big tamale pot only for soaking yarn and fiber, and that one holds more than the granite ware. So how many tamales are people making if the pan's that big? I want somebody to come and bring that pot to my house and make tamales for me. I'll make either pierogies or stuffed cabbage rolls for you, and you make tamales for me? How's that for a trade? I'll feed you Polish and you feed me Mexican. dozens of tamales. And she says, I will bring my pot, but you're helping with the tamales. Okay, well, I'm going to have to drag in a chair and sit for much of it. I can't stand for very long at a time. And she says, it's more fun with 2 people, and it's still a days-long process. Yeah, well, all of the best food is a days-long process. So, Birding Mom says, if you're going to make tamales, there is no sense in making a few. It's a lot of work. Yeah, well, and that's how I feel about stuffed cabbage rolls, which is why most of the time I just make the, what we call cheater cabbage, where you just chop up the cabbage and mix it together with all the rest of the ingredients and make a casserole. And it's yummy. And a heck of a lot less work. But it's not the same. Not the same as Grandma's stuffed cabbage rolls. Mama Maid said I have done between 10 and 12 dozen in that pot at once. Wow. Veggie said tamales is work. Mama Maid said delicious work. Veggie said, but it is love, LOL. Veggie says a lot of work gone in 2 minutes. Yeah. Mama Maid said, my butcher knows when I'm gearing up for tamales because I'm ordering large cuts of no less than 5 pounds of beef and pork each. Well, why don't you just go, like, kill a cow? Kill a pig? The housemate, Mrs. Oh, now the phone just vibrated and she didn't bat a whisker. Oh, what the heck were they? Carne asada burritos. And apparently there are out in Southern California and all around the Southwest a handful of little greasy Mexican places that all have similar names. Aliberto's and something Berto's and somebody else Berto's. And he said that they have the absolutely most fabulous carne asada burritos, and he misses them almost every day. Mama Maid said, I also make them with cheese and peppers, and I've made them with beans and cheese before, and husband loved it for breakfast. Cheese and peppers sounds good. All of those sound good. Mama Maid said, I actually don't like wild pig for tamales. Birding Mom said, my stepsister married a Mexican who was one of 10 kids. His mom would come on 12/24 and make tamales. She knew how to delegate and had an assembly line going, so she just supervised. That's the way to do it. Well, see, I keep wishing that, Maria, my friend who is the housemate's girlfriend, she doesn't know how to cook. She's first generation American, doesn't know how to cook Mexican. And she just never felt inclined to pay attention. And she talks about, having her mom come out, and I'm like, yes, teach me all the things. And Richard has even said, I would love to learn how to cook authentic Mexican. And he was really disappointed when Maria moved here that she didn't know how to cook. But they've been talking about, if they're in San Jose and if they have to evacuate for the fires of coming out here. Bad timing, though. Maria's just like moving into a new apartment like tomorrow. Mama Maid said, and the butcher already did the work for me in this. I just get the chunk, have them cut it into fist-sized chunks, and then throw those into the pot for hours. Mama Maid said, that sounds amazing, Birding Mom. I need an assembly line for this. Thank you for the follow. Uh, Suzanne Amico? I hope I didn't butcher that. Veggie said, "Is it Christmas time yet? Friends bring tamales. Just thought probably won't happen this year." Yeah, because this year sucks. Yeah, people don't do that around here. Here, you're more likely to get, well, you're more likely to get cookies, but if you're lucky, you might get stuffed cabbage rolls. Bama Mate said, "I set up an assembly line style, and it's a one-person show for me and takes forever." Yeah, most of the stuff I cook, I do by myself. I need an assembly line. I need a bigger kitchen for an assembly line. Yummy. There was a lot of turmeric down in the bottom of the golden milk. Yeah, and last year I felt kind of crappy around the holidays, and I didn't even bake much in the way of Christmas cookies. What did I do? I did some shortbread, and I did the little Russian tea cakes because those are my favorite. And the last couple of years, Maria has said that that's all she wants for Christmas is a whole batch of Russian tea cakes. So I do, and you do realize it's pretty much butter and sugar, right? And I had all the ingredients for the oh man, words. The the Polish cookies that you like cut a square of dough and you put the filling, like, I think I got raspberry. I wanted almond. They didn't have any almond filling. And so you put the filling and then you fold up two of the corners to meet. Kolachkis? I think, anyway. I usually always do my grandmother's sugar cookies, and then we put powdered sugar glaze and sprinkles on them, but I didn't even do that last year. I didn't have the energy to stand in the kitchen and roll out the dough. Birding Mom said, "Bama made, she put my 2-year-old to work, stood her on a chair, and she was responsible for putting the olive in the middle before wrapping. With 10 kids, they grew up working." Yeah, that's so cool. Bama Maid said, "But I have a system. The filling and masa gets done on day 1. Day 2, I soak the husk, remix the masa, and heat the filling. While the filling is heating, I start spreading masa. My entire island in my kitchen I fill with the husks, and then load filling, wrap, and stick in the pot." Yeah, I might not have the right word. Let me. Yeah, see, and that's not exactly the pronunciation. Let me see, because brain farts. Well, okay, it depends on where you look. Some places are calling them kolachkis, and some places are calling them kalakis. I'm thinking that kalaki is an Americanization. Oh, I wonder what a Polish wedding cookie is. Oh, that looks like a Russian tea cake or Mexican wedding cake or I think those exist everywhere in the world under different names. Grandma's Polish cookies. Yeah, see, there are all these recipes for Grandma's Polish cookies, and none of us Americans know what the Polish names are for them. Kolachkis. Veggie says kolachi. Yeah, that's different. That's a different word. Veggie says they have meat ones too. Baba Maid said klobasnik is the meat ones, and I'm not spelling that right. Just here, they've all been lumped under kolachi. Yeah, kolachi is a different word. What I'm saying is kolachki. And I'm not absolutely certain that I'm pronouncing it correctly. I will have to ask. Call someone in my family, heaven forbid. I haven't talked to any of my family on the phone in forever. But you know what? I could show you a picture of what I was talking about. Oh, good night, Fiber Mage. Okay, these are the little oh, that's a lot of. That's a really long link. But those are the little cookies I'm talking about. Fiber Mage says ginghams. Huh. So we're talking about the same thing, but they're pronouncing it differently there. I suspect it's just that the words have migrated, and a lot of Polish words, just like any other language, have been Americanized, because there are things that, and even in German, here in Pennsylvania, people put a pickle ornament on the Christmas tree, and whoever finds the pickle ornament on Christmas morning gets an extra gift. And I had never heard of it. And, and everybody's like, oh, it's a German tradition. So I started looking into it. Like nobody in Germany knew what I was talking about. And it turns out it's a German-American tradition that originated in Pennsylvania. And like we always called, the Polish great-grandma, we called her Busia. Well, it turns out Busia is an Americanization. And people in Poland don't call their grandma Busia, they call her Babcia. So there's, there's all that kind of stuff. Veggie says, checkstop.net. Well, that looks yummy. Now, see the kolachkis. Um, I think of as being almond filled, like almond paste filled, or like raspberry. And what did you guys say? Poppy seed and something else is more common there. Lemon. Lemon or poppy seed. I've never seen lemon. Okay, so you guys ever see punchkis? Bauman Maid says wiki for everything. The really puffy bun with fruit in the middle is, yeah, and see the ones I'm talking about aren't puffy and they're not a bun. They're cream cheese pastry. Oh, and see, these are Czech and Slovak, and that's different. Huh. Yeah, these are different than what I'm used to. Now, the one on the wiki page under related dishes where it shows the ones that are have the corners folded in are what I'm talking about, but they're using a different name, calling it kolache cookies, and that's not how I was taught the pronunciation. I could also ask. I'm on a couple of Polish cooking groups on Facebook. I could ask. But yeah, the pastry, it's like it's similar to a cream cheese pie crust, sort of. It doesn't puff, really. Veggie says that sounds inappropriate. Klobus. Klobus neck. Veggie said that sounds inappropriate. Birding Mom said poppy seed and apricot out here. Now, I have seen apricot. I asked if you guys ever saw punchkis, and let me find the spelling of that because I know that I don't know how to spell it. Ha. These are pronounced punchki. But you wouldn't look at it and think, because Polish has a mind of its own. And they are amazing. And they are different from regular filled donuts because they originated when the pastry chefs it'd be coming up on Lent and they'd want to use it because Poland being largely Catholic, they wanted to use up all that extra butter and extra eggs and all that rich stuff that nobody was going to be eating during Lent. And so they just, made this amazing decadent pastry and make these filled. And one of the most common fillings is prune. Ugh. I usually go for the berry fillings. Of course, I can't have those now unless I make them myself, but it's not a jelly donut per se. It's a punchki, and they're usually only available during Carnival, or, what more Americans might know as Mardi Gras. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Veggie said the fruit cream ones and lemon. Bama Main said if it can go into a pie, it can be put into. And she's pineapple is evil because it sometimes looks like lemon, but it's gross. And then says we have probably butchered those words right to hell. And Veggie says that the P word sounded inappropriate. Punchki? Bama Maid said that's against TOS. We can't show that on stream, guys. Veggie said, ever gone into an idea and rename all the things with a southern accent? Like IKEA. Bama Maid said, I want to take my dad to IKEA and just have him say all the things. All the good stuff is available right before Lent because Lent means all the fun stops. Well, right. They were trying to use up all the excess butter and sugar and eggs. And, well, the sugar would keep. But, the butter and the eggs would go bad. You got to use them up. Here, let's make some jelly donuts that'll make people have delirium. When I lived in northern Michigan, and I see them in the bakeries here, but people don't lose their minds over them. When I lived in northern Michigan, people would, and there's not even that huge of a Polish population there, but people would be waiting in line out the door and down the sidewalk on the first day of Punchki season. And to be absolutely honest, the reason I got a deep fryer was so I could make punchkis. Bama Maid said, I swear they put poppy seeds in everything for the opium high. I never thought of that. No, I want almond. And don't ever give me a donut with prunes in it. I am not going to be interested. And you know what? I have been, well, obviously I haven't been knitting the whole time. I've been knitting on this for the better part of an hour and 45 minutes, and my hands have not cramped. So that's another point in favor of these ChiaoGus. Veggie says lemon poppy seed muffins. You know what? I have not seen those in a very long time. I make a lemon poppy seed soap. It's got lemon and lemongrass essential oils. And I added the lemongrass because lemon essential oil doesn't hold in cold process soap. It fades really fast. But with the lemongrass, in the combination, it holds better. And then I put a little turmeric in. There's that turmeric again. I put in a little turmeric to turn the soap yellow. And then I put some poppy seeds in there for exfoliation. But yeah, boy, I haven't had a muffin at all, and it might have been years. Got to dig out some recipes and do some baking, not bacon. Speaking of accents. See, now I'm sitting here thinking about Polish food and Mexican food. Veggie says thinking about carbs. Well, yeah, largely. I'm throwing some stuffed cabbage rolls in there. Mama Maid said, okay, so down here, even your jelly donuts would be classified as. Now, are you guys pronouncing that kolaches? And there's a bakery in Hallettsville that makes that smile of filled with poppy seed filling. Huh. But do they have all the extra butter and eggs and extra and stuff? Mama Maid said when my uncle would visit, they'd go through there and bring kolaches with them. Kolaches. Okay. See, I think that when I have heard that word in the past, I thought it was some sort of a Jewish pastry. Kolache. Huh. So, do any of these bakeries make any of this stuff gluten-free by any chance? Or at least with spelt instead of regular flour? Cheese for plural. Okay. Okay, got it. Cheese for cream cheese filling. So Birding Mom, the ones that you're familiar with out where you are the same as what these guys are talking about? Veggie says, ha, didn't think about that. They'd probably charge extra for the special flour. And I wouldn't be surprised because spelt flour is a lot more expensive. I pay, like somewhere between 45 and $50 for a 20-pound bag of unbleached white spelt flour. Birding Mom said mostly. Huh. Yeah, I've never seen the puffy ones. So is that like a puff pastry, like a what do you call it? Like you use for spanakopita? Or now see that phyllo dough. I think of that being Middle Eastern. Mama Maid said it's a sweet roll. Not a puff pastry. Oh, but there were some that looked like they were like a puff pastry and they were round and then you could see like a circle of the filling in the middle. Think cinnamon roll type dough. Okay. Yeah, that's not at all what my little kolaches are. They're more like a pie pastry made with butter and cream cheese. Birding Mom says, okay, I'm heading out. I'm wiped tonight. Behave. Behave or have a great night, or both. Have a good night, Birding Mom. We'll see you later, alligator. Grats on finally getting those socks under control. They probably, you know what, those socks probably think the whole thing is hilarious. Hey, thanks for the lurk, Mousy. And the cat is still curled up on the end of the table, laying on top of all the stuff. Yeah, Veggie says, behave never. Hey, Shy, how are you? Bama Mate said the dough goes through 2 rises. First rise, pitch off bite-sized bits, bun-sized bits, put in pan and fill. Second rise forms the depression because the filling is usually pretty heavy. Oh. Yes, Veggie, that's a Shy. Weary. Yeah, we've been hearing a lot of that kind of thing. Everybody's just beat. I was going to move my mug, but if I put it where I was going to put it, I'm afraid the cat will knock it off the table. Ugh, my tap water tastes really tap watery tonight. I should have got it out of the filter. Okay, you're going to see all the rest of my mess, but camera moving. Oops. Sorry about the light. Cat sighting. Laying on top of all my stuff. Sorry, I should have warned you guys before I moved the camera, huh? Okay, I'm going to move some more. I think we lost the zoom. Let me see if I can get the zoom back. That was weird. She was over here purring and getting in. Oh, her little eyes are cracking open. She's like, Mom. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can fix this camera. Okay, camera's gonna move a little bit more. And I'm gonna see if I can get it to zoom again. Okay, is that too close? That's very close. I think that's where we were last night. Right up there. Bow and Maid said, whoops, come back here. Other forms have the filling inside the bun, like your jelly donuts, not going to try to spell the P word. And still others just spread the filling between 2 layers and bake like a giant amazing sandwich. Depends on the family, I think. Yes, there's another train. Is this our second? This might be the second train tonight again. Baba Mate said, but I've seen all three, and they're all called um, kolaches here. Hmm. It's so weird, how things change differently in one region from another. Had two kitty sightings. Veggie says not close enough. How's that? You want to see? No, I gotta stop that. I'm gonna make somebody have a seizure or something, and that would be bad. Okay, now the light's in my face. Oh, because the cat's shoving the light. You want to see my pores? Could show you some cat scratch. No, I guess those are gone. There's a cat scratch. She's been. And Shy says you messed up everything just to show me a kitty. Well, she's laying right there. She's been sleeping a lot lately. She didn't like the hot weather, I guess. And sometimes when it's really, really hot, she likes to sleep in the ceramic fruit bowl. And so that's where she's been the last 2 days. Bomba Mate said, cats are important. Veggie says, "Okay, done." Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. Oopsie, now I gotta back up. When I'm zoomed in, I have to back up. You see the dye under my fingernails? Still some. Not as much. Oh, see, there's some yellow. When I first saw that this morning, I thought, oh man, I got turmeric under. No, it's like, no, that's from dyeing. Okay, you anime people, this song is called Amaya's Tomb. Is that an anime reference? Because it seems like a lot of these songs are. Shai said, finally getting back to some yarn. Haven't had downtime since I last spent an evening here. Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad you have some downtime now. And Shai says, working on my Battenberg blanket in the, I don't know how to pronounce that. I always, in my head, I say Sheepjes Stonewashed Sample Pack. Because I guess I don't know what country that originates in, so I don't know what language I'm trying to pronounce. Veggie says there's different artists in the playlist. I followed a few of them on Spotify. Oh, cool. I never even thought of that. Shai says very simple, but I need the colors in my life right now. Oh, that's pretty. And yeah, simple, but I really like it. And I'm going to save the pattern. Okay, the English version would probably be better. I might be able to figure out the German, but easier if I don't have to. Well, that'd be good brain exercise, but still. Bama Mate said, so that yarn has come up before, and it's the reason Dork dyed a sheep jizz colorway. Because we didn't know how to say it. And that's what it sounded like, and I'll show myself out now. You stay right there, young lady. So it sounds like sheep jizz. Okay. I'm sure that means something completely different in its original language. Now, where is Dork from? Is she Netherlands or someplace over in that area? Shai says the Paralandra song always catches my notice because it's named after a book world in C.S. Lewis's space trilogy. Yeah, I remember Paralandra. I think I read all that stuff back 100 years ago. Veggie says, the Leaf Village song made me pick Naruto back up. See, now that song just makes me think of Hobbitses. Because I haven't seen a lot of anime. It didn't really hit until I was older, so I wasn't exposed to it as a kid. Bama Maid said London-ish. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought she was more across the channel. Bama Maid said, and I'm very sure the word, when said properly, sounds nothing like that. And Shai said, me too with the Hobbitses. Yeah, it seems like amongst my friends, people don't start being into anime until they're like 10 years or more younger than me. Although I suppose that Speed Racer would probably have been considered anime. But I was old enough that I wasn't watching cartoons anymore. And I just thought Speed Racer was annoying as hell because it was on like 4 times a day. And my sister liked it. Veggie said, half makes me think of it. The second instrument makes sense for it being Naruto inspired. Shai said, sheep jizz is from the Netherlands. Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer. Bama Maid said, I've never seen the Lord of the Rings movie all the way through. I've played them all today, out of order. Still can't say I've seen them. No, you haven't seen the Lord of the Rings movies until you've watched the director's cuts. There are, if you watch just the movie, the director's editions, it's 12 hours from start to finish. And then there was probably 8 or 10 or 12 more discs of bonus features. And they're if you're a nerd at all, the bonus features are absolutely worth watching. Peter Jackson filmed all kinds of extra stuff with the intention of ruining us for anybody else's special features. Shy says, LOL, many fights. I have done that, all one after the other. Veggie says, no, the 70s version. Oh, the kind of weird cartoon one? Yeah, we thought that was cool in the 70s, but, now we have the live action. Shy says, all the battles start looking the same. The only, and I've never been big, I think when I originally read The Lord of the Rings in high school, I probably skimmed most of the Two Towers because it's like all battles. And that just has never interested me. Now, in the movies, it held my interest a little better. But the only thing I've ever read where I actually read every word of every battle scene is The Rise of the Illyri series. Kept me absolutely engaged. Veggie says trolling, no pun intended. Bomba Maid said they're on HBO right now. That's where I watched. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have cable. We haven't had cable in a long time. Veggie said, I still haven't read them. Tolkien, don't shun me. Oh, I won't shun you. It's, his writing style is not for everybody. But I guess, the thing I notice, when I read Tolkien is the kind of the same thing that I noticed in the early Harry Potter books. The writing style is absolutely not American. And maybe that's all it is with Tolkien. But he was a linguistic genius. And, a professor at freaking Oxford. Shy says, I haven't either. I wasn't allowed to as a kid. But I was allowed to read C.S. Lewis, which is hilarious. Yeah, and C.S. Lewis and Tolkien were like buds. They hung out together. And C.S. Lewis's Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe stuff was him trying to write an epic like Tolkien. Bomba Maid said HBO is part of my phone bill. Streaming service, no cable either. Oh, I didn't know there was such a thing. Veggie said, picked up The Hobbit and loved what I was reading, but pandemic happened. What was I going to just say? Oh, I read The Hobbit and then The Lord of the Rings when I was a senior in high school. I was taking 2 classes from the most amazing high school teacher I ever had. Her name was Mrs. Fordyce, and she is no longer with us. She made me love Shakespeare. And I still remember I had her for humanities, and I also had her for a class called Independent Reading for College, where there was just this, it was back in the days of mimeograph. So there was this 10-page mimeographed list of books, and they were things that it would be good to have read by the time you got to college. And you just picked whatever appealed to you, you read it, you wrote a short basic synopsis, like no more than a page, and then she kept track of what books you had read, and our exams were she would ask you 3 questions about 3 of your books, and if you could answer them, then she believed that you'd actually read them, and if you couldn't, you were in deep doo-doo. But when in the humanities class, so I read The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings as part of my reading for that class. And your grade depended on how many pages you chose to read. So, you read for an A, a B, or a C. was up to you. And then to be able to answer 3 questions. Which suggested that she had read all the books on that, 10-page list. But in the humanities class, we read Hamlet. And, she made me love Hamlet. And for part of our grade, we there were a number of passages. You could choose a passage, and then you could memorize 20 lines for a B or 40 lines for an A. And I chose the to be or not to be soliloquy. And I still remember it. And it's like I find people doing it on YouTube just to see different people's take on it. And my favorite so far is David Tennant as Hamlet. Shai says he was an inkling. They both were. Veggie said reading slump. Yeah, they were bros. Bumma Maid said I haven't read them all the way through. There's a theme here. But Tolkien didn't leave much to the imagination. Details everywhere. Yes, he did. Shai said, well, Lewis was writing allegories with the Chronicles a slightly different... yes. But the idea was that they were challenging each other to write epics. And, they both did really well. And, I think somebody could have, a director could have taken the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series and made it every bit as epic as the Lord of the Rings movies. I don't recall who directed it, and it was good. I liked it, but yeah. Shai says that smell. Shai says, so was the goal to only read 3 books? Oh, no. To read as many books as you could cram into the semester. And your grade was dependent on how many total pages you read. Well, no, actually, I think we took the class for the whole year. So anyway, it was either the semester or the year. It was a long time ago. I'm 60. So this would have been in 1977/78. You read as much or as little as you wanted, and your grade depended on how many pages you read. So I read a ton of books, and I don't know if I can even remember. And if you came across a book you wanted to read, and the class met in the library at school, and we just see you'd go up to the shelf and you'd get a book and check it out and sit down and read. And if you came across a book you wanted to read and it wasn't on the list, you just took it to her and she would either approve it or not. But I tried to slog through some Solzhenitsyn. Is that how you say it? Solzhenitsyn? I tried to slog through 3 days in the life of Ivan Ivanovich, which was about 3 days in the life of this Russian Jew in a concentration camp. Oh man, that was way bigger than my 17-year-old brain was ready for. But I read Trinity, which is about the struggles in, I don't remember what years it's set in, but about the struggles between Northern Ireland and the rest of Ireland. And I read Roots because, those were the days. That's when Roots was huge. That followed the life of Kunta Kinte, who was abducted and brought here to be sold as a slave, and then his family coming forward all the way to the present. And I think the author's name was Alex Huxley, and someone in his family had kept a very extensive family tree all the way back to their beginnings as slaves in this country. And he researched it all, and eventually was able to find out the exact village that Kunta Kinte had come from. And oh God, I can't think of the actor's name. The actor who played Geordie LaForge on Star Trek: The Next Generation played the young Kunta Kinte, and he was a teenager at the time. But it was a very good movie and had a lot of big names. I think it was a mini series on television. Had a lot of pretty big name actors at the time were in it. Bauman Maid said, all I can see when I think of Hamlet is Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah. Shai said, it could have been so much more. So really, really long, 3 books. Well, if you could just read 3 books if there were enough pages. But, I was going for an A, and I forget how many pages you had to read for an A, but I was going for an A. So I read just tons of books. Shai said, I left you a link in Discord, R.E. Hamlet. Okay, thank you. LeVar Burton, thank you, Veggie. Yeah, he played Kunta Kinte. Bama Maid said, all right, I gotta go to bed. To see you alls later. Yeah, we'll only be here about another 40 minutes anyway, because tonight's early night. So I hope you get some good sleep, and I hope that there are not any jellyfish smacking your roof by morning. Veggie says LeVar is awesome. Yeah, I love that he does like Reading Rainbow and stuff. He's cool. And I always liked Geordie LaForge. Okay, let's measure. So I don't just keep knitting, and then have to rip a bunch out, because, we're trying to avoid the whole tinking thing here. So we're at almost 7. We might get to the toe decreases. God, what else did I read? So, yeah, and both Trinity and Roots were like really thick books. And God, what else did I read? I think that's when I started reading the what the heck? All Creatures Great and Small, that series. I think that's when I started reading those, and I eventually read all of those, but I don't think they were all out yet when I was a senior. James Herriot, that's it. Yeah, it was so long ago. If I keep thinking about it, over the course of the next couple of weeks, I'll probably remember more. I didn't read C.S. Lewis until I was in college, though. When I started reading, I had a fantasy and science fiction class when I was a sophomore, and completely and totally sucked into science fiction and fantasy at that point. And that was when somebody recommended C.S. Lewis. So apart from the Tolkien, I don't think anything I read in that class in high school was fantasy or science fiction. Shai says, I love British writing, so that's what I know best. Cool. Veggie said, I used to watch Star Trek with my stepdad sometimes. Only bit I remember really is when he took off his visor. I watched I watched the original series when it was first on when I was a kid, like 6 or 7, first grade, second grade, thereabout, I think. So that would have been 66, 67, I want to say. And then I was probably about 30 by the time the Next Generation came out. And that took me a while to warm up to. I thought that they were ruining it. and then finally got sucked in. I think it was Whoopi Goldberg that got me interested enough to sit down and watch it. But I still don't really care for the first season, because they hadn't really developed the characters yet, and it was kind of cheesy. But once they got going, it was really good. And then watched all of Deep Space Nine and all of Voyager. And I've seen most of Enterprise. I think I'm like the only person in the world who liked Enterprise. Shai says Chesterton was another of the Inklings and a fave of mine too. I don't know if I'd have to look up who that is. Shai says Conan Doyle was my gateway drug author. Ha ha. Veggie says I read C.S. Lewis in elementary. Yeah, no, I didn't. Shai says, I remember when I was really little and banana clips were a thing. I always ran around pretending to be LaForge. Oh, that would work. Shai said he did the Father Brown mysteries, best known by the average American. Okay, then now I have not read. I have not read those because I never was like a big mystery person. But I am familiar with the Father Brown mysteries. And in the last 5 years or so, I've read a lot of fantasy and science fiction written by up and coming authors. Because I subscribe to this freebooksy.com thing, and they tell you, they send you an email every day listing what's free in Kindle edition on Amazon that day in your chosen genre. And some of them have been quite good. Some of them have been horrible, but they're free. But I finally have gotten to the point where I don't feel compelled to force myself to read something that's awful and I'm not enjoying. But I have found a couple of authors I really, really like because of that. One of them was Orrin Hadley, and she has ruined me for, it's like, and she cranks books out so fast that I almost don't have time to go off and explore other authors. And I never have gotten all the way through Harry Potter. I need to take some time and go back and finish those. I mean, I've seen all the movies. I just haven't ever gotten through all the books. Shai says you like Britcoms, right? Well, I would say yes. Not necessarily all of them, but a lot of them. Or certain ones, I don't know. I knew that Stephen Fry had written fiction. I did not know that Hugh Laurie had. I loves both of them. Yes, Fry and Laurie. And I still think it's hilarious that most Americans don't realize that Hugh Laurie is English. And Veggie goes to Google. Shai says Hugh did a comedic noir type one. Huh. Well, that'd definitely be worth looking into. Yeah, and see, and I go, for me, Monty Python goes all the way back to high school. But I like the movies better than I like the TV shows. Sometimes the TV sketches left me scratching my head. And the same with, I had friends who loved Benny Hill. I just didn't get it. I was too American as a teenager, I guess. I might like it now, but, at the time when I was in high school and early in college, I was like, oh, are you going to watch this again? Veggie said, excuse me, I think it's sad they assume he's English, yet proves what an actor yeah, right, they assume he's American. He played House amazingly because I had only ever seen him in comedy. And yeah, he pulled off the drama pretty hard. Shai said, I also found out that the lady who played Daisy in Keeping Up Appearances wrote some fun fiction as well. Ah. Shai said, my brain and my ears did not agree when he was sauce. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, who are you? It's like I'm used to him from Blackadder, and he was always sort of bumbling aristocracy without much of a brain. Right, Shai says, plus I kept seeing him in my mind as the foppish prince from Blackadder. Yeah. And Veggie's phone died. Oh no! Yeah, not English. Yes, American. My phone died at the Weaver's cabin today. My phone hardly ever dies when I'm away from home. And I just happened to not have a charger with me. So I had a little bit of blessed peace and quiet. Because there are a couple of people who text me all the time. Oh, excuse me. We should have probably taken a break at some point. That's okay. We've only got like 20 minutes left. I can probably hold my bladder until then. Hydrate. Okay, here's the water. Huh? Not if you hydrate? You guys. Oh, okay, yeah, hold my bladder. Okay, smarty pantses. You guys are ganging up on me now. That's right, you didn't do it this time. That's right, Shy. She absolutely was. But yeah, you guys got me thinking about Babylon 5 recently. I might have to have a Babylon 5. I mean, this computer doesn't have an optical drive. I might have to hook the TV up to the PlayStation 2 and have a Babylon 5 marathon. It's been a long time since I've watched Babylon 5. Shai says, I felt the pressure. That mind meld is serious, dude. Yes, you can watch DVDs on the PS2, and you can watch a Blu-ray on the PS3. Shai says my cousin loaned me his full set of Battle Gax Stellarctica to watch. The old ones or the newer ones? When I was in college, we called it Battle Gax Stellarctica, and it just has stuck in my head. I've seen some of the newer ones, but I haven't seen the whole series. I saw all of the old ones back in college. We watched them on TV, in the TV room in the dorm. Yeah, nobody in my house plays on any. We've got a PS2 and a PS3, and I think we have a couple of older things, like old Genesis systems or something. Nobody ever plays them anymore. Everybody plays stuff on their computers now. I should pull out Kingdom Hearts 2 sometime. I haven't ever played that. I was so confused at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts. I just couldn't get into it because I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. But then when the new one came out, I watched somebody on YouTube who played when the new one was getting ready to come out. He played through all the old content and talked about stuff. So I was like, oh. It's like all conspiracy theories and stuff. Should have been right up my alley, but I was just too confused. Veggie says we have a few consoles. There's a bit of a collection. We used to have all of my husband's old consoles, but we sent a lot of them to his kids, my stepkids, when they were young, and they're all gone. Pretty sure the ex-wife sold them all, and we had given them a PS2 at one point when PS2s were still fairly new. And my stepdaughter, who lives with us now, said she never knew that. She said she never saw a PS2 in her whole life at that house. Never saw. She has no idea. It's like, well, I know we gave you one. That was what y'all got for Christmas one year. Shai says there was a fan series that was really well done for BSG, and I've wanted to watch the series again to compare to the books. They kind of are the prequels to the series. Oh. Huh, I didn't know that. I tried to watch some of the original Battlegag Stellarctica series a few years ago, and oh my God, was it cheesy or what? I can't understand what we thought was so awesome about it back in the day. Of course, in 1979, special effects weren't what they are now. Shai said, didn't it have Van Dyke as the lead? It's going to be cheesy then. I was trying to think. Lorne Greene from Bonanza was a lead. I don't remember if Van Dyke was in it. But you know what? Maybe what everybody liked was that Starbuck and what's the other pilot's name? They were kind of hot. Then when they cast Starbuck as female in the new ones, everybody my age was like, what? Wait. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I missed where you said, Van Dyke. So I was thinking you meant Dick himself. Yes, that might have very well have been a Van Dyke. I'd have to Google to be sure, because like I said, that was a very long time ago. See, you guys have all seen this stuff recently, and I'm trying to reach back to the 70s and 80s. Yep, I am going to say, after more than 2.5 hours of knitting on this, I mean, my hand isn't any more stiff than using double points. We'll see what my thumb thinks in the morning. But it's not stiff. I thought it was going to be stiff, and it's not. So, I give the ChiaoGoo 9-inch circular a thumbs up. The Collage, or whatever that brand is that starts with a K, not so much. I like that brand for their regular double points, like, or not double points. For their regular square circulars, and that sounds really bizarre, like in a size 6 or 7. But their little itty bitty 9-inch circular just doesn't make me happy. I'm still very, very, very sad about my driftwood circular with which I was doing magic loop until I broke it. I will replace it. Shai says ChiaoGoo are always a win for me. I had not ever tried them before. I've heard lots of good reviews, but they're not available to me locally. So I hadn't had a chance to try them. But I like it. Did you want to see? Where is it? Here, there it is. It broke. I don't know how. It was in a bag. It is, especially since I had planned to work on this sock during my shift at the weaver's cabin today, and I pulled it out of the bag and it was broken, and I was glad that I had my drop spindle with me. I could spin. There were other things I could have done there, but it was way too hot to be crawling around on the floor underneath looms. Now it's just a cable needle and a lifeline. That's for sure. It would be a very adequate lifeline considering the cable is 47 inches long. Veggie says, and a 9 inch is more travel friendly. Well, yeah, especially since the tips on this are very long, which is fine. You know, for me for Magic Loop, it worked really well. But I have these little bitty zipper bags I got at the yarn shop. Um, that this will fit in, and actually the ball of yarn might fit into. But anything with a longer needle, I can't because my double points are all too long. Veggie said maybe get some tips for the tips. LOL, protective tips. Um, you mean so it doesn't stab through the bag, or so the stitches don't fall off? She says yes and yes. Mostly for stitch safety. I'm not as worried about dropping stitches off the needle. Although, this is my first experience with this particular little itty bitty one, so it remains to be seen. As Veggie says, cause priorities. Bag protection is cool too, I guess. I still don't think this ball of yarn has gotten any smaller. So I will probably there'll be plenty there for me to wind off a couple of minis. I have to go back and look at the instructions and see if she listed how many yards. Because if I'm going to wind my skeins off on a nitty notty, it's going to be a lot easier to go by yards than it is by grams. Shai says, ooh, looks like the fanfic writer has written more books. There were 5, now there are 8? Cool. Okay, so about an inch to go. So we're not going to get to the toes. Maybe let me measure from the other direction because sometimes it's different. Oh, still 7 inches. Well, that's good to know. And Shai posted a link. Oh, cool. Alrighty, I will save that. Shai says there's a link on the sidebar to access the first 5 books for free. Warning, I think his other writings are explicit. That's okay. My favorite author, Orrin Hadley, writes really, really, really explicit stuff. I can deal with it. But thank you for the warning, just in case anybody else is going to follow the link who might not be prepared. Veggie says, why is everybody looking at me? We're not. It's your imagination. Veggie, have you read The Rise of the Illyri yet? Oh, it's time, you guys. It's time because I have to work in the morning. Veggie said, I think I am at chapter 3, suffering from the putting it down and haven't picked it back up yet. Well, Veggie, you haven't gotten to the good stuff yet. Shy says, boo, but so do I. Yeah, Thursday nights I can't stay as late. Veggie says, I'm sorry. Yeah, you gotta get where it's give it a chance to get going. And Shy says, Kitty. I don't know where the kitty went. She jumped on off the table at some point, I guess. Veggie says, into the void we go for the weekend. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Shy says, oh, well, it was worth a shot. It was. I have no idea when she got down. She must have got bored with me because I wasn't paying attention to her. Okay, let's see who's. Mousy Moo is still on. She's knitting on a summer tea because, she's down there, down under. So it's late summer for us and late winter for her. And I don't remember who we raided last night. Did we raid Mousy last night? Veggie is in the fetal position with snacks. Well, get going. There's a total of like 10 books. Or is it 11? I forget. They go pretty fast, though. Shy says, I think I'm going to just crash tonight. Okay, well, we could just crash. I think we have I think it's like us guys and a bunch of lurkers. So, I mean, like lurkers who aren't really even here. Oh, yeah, there's a couple of people that might actually be paying attention, but mostly I think it's people who came in and then, went to bed. Shy says, hugs to the room. Nice to see y'all again. I will be back. Yeah, thanks for coming back. Like Veggie said. I'll be here. I'll be off tomorrow night and Saturday night, and I'll be back Sunday, 11 p.m. or so Eastern time in the U.S., barring any unforeseen circumstances. Like zombie invasions or raining jellyfish. Now, if it wanted to rain stuffed cabbage rolls, I'd be good with that. Or punchkis. It could rain punchkis. Just not the prune ones. Shy says, don't give 2020 any ideas. Well, I'm hoping that 2020 gets it all out of its system so 2021 can just take a deep cleansing breath and be, cool. Veggie says, hee hee, I'll be over in 5. Let me in. And Shy says, cabbage rolls actually sound yum. They do. I have some cabbage. Ha ha ha. But I probably won't make cabbage rolls. I'll just make the casserole. It still tastes yummy. And it doesn't last very long. I always think I'm going to freeze some of it. We'll have leftovers. No, we won't. Because, and actually, it's only the housemate and me who eat it. Richard and my stepdaughter are not into cabbage. But housemate and I can put away quite a lot of it. Shy says the casserole is good too. Well, our version is good. Yeah, I chop up the cabbage and boil it until it's soft. I brown a couple of pounds of burger with some chopped onion in it, and mix in about 4 cups of cooked rice and mix the cabbage and the beef and the rice all together, and then I dump in 2 or 3 quarts of home canned tomatoes, although I'm all out of those from last year. So several cans of tomatoes, usually crushed, and stir it all together and heat it through. And most of the time I don't. I just do it in a pot on the stove. I don't even put it in the oven to bake. It's so good. Yep, I might have to do that this weekend. Unless I get distracted by something else. Shai said, I got a slow cooker this week. Now I'm having ideas. Yeah, you can do all the casseroles in a slow cooker. You can even get slow cookers now that are shaped like a rectangular casserole dish. And soups, absolutely. It's too darn hot here to make soup, though. I have to wait till the weather cools off. Okay, you guys. I gotta go. Gotta go find something to eat and start thinking about bed. Shai says, here too, but I'm still having ideas. See, that, the ability to cook and bake year round would be, plenty of reason to have air conditioning put in the house, but I don't know where that kind of money would come from. Shai says, snow in winter and sleeves. Yeah, long pants, sweatshirts, flannel. Not to mention, like, hand knit things. Socks. So, okay, anyways. You guys. Shai says, what's this pants nonsense? I like pants. I like skirts better, long skirts. All my skirts are ankle length or nearly ankle length. I used to wear them longer than that, but now I trip over them. Veggie says home is where the pants are not. Yeah, but that's because you live in Texas. So, okay. Alrighty, y'all bunch of troublemakers. I'll see you guys on Sunday night if I don't see you around somewhere else between now and then, because sometimes I bump into some of you in other streams. And if it's not busy at work, I can certainly hang out a little bit on streams. So, and like I said, we may get weather this weekend, so I don't know if that means it'll be busy or slow. Alrighty, you guys have a good night, get good sleep, and I could put up the streaming ending screen instead of just making you look at my cloth there. So anyway, have a good weekend. I'll see you around maybe, and I'll see you Sunday night.